We're talking all about being present over being perfect today on the show. And I can't wait for you to hear all the thoughts that I have on this, because I literally have spent majority of my life trying to be perfect. And I know if you're listening in right now, you are probably right there. I want to shed some love to you today, friend, as I help support you to get really present in your life and to put the things that matter at the top of your list. It's time to stop sacrificing what you want for your current day-to-day behaviors right now. And it's time to get really, really true into where you're headed. And so with that, let's dive into today's episode. Here's episode 221, Present Over Perfect. Here we go. Hey girl, welcome to the Her Best Self podcast. I'm Lindsey, former competitive figure skater and perfectionist, turned God-led imperfect boy mom and digital CEO. If you find yourself constantly thinking about food and wondering if you'll wake up one day free from the obsessive thoughts and behaviors controlling your life, then I've created this podcast for you, because I know exactly what it's like to be a downright hot mess trapped in a destructive cycle of disordered eating. I finally found freedom, and you can too, girlfriend. So if you're ready to heal your relationship with food and body and break the chains of control and show up in your best health, then grab your favorite Tarjay journal and let's get to it, so you can start living your best life as your best self. Hey there, beautiful. Welcome back to the show. I'm Lindsey, and today we're diving into something that has been heavy on my heart lately. It is graduation time around here, and this idea of just being in the moment has been coming up so regularly for me and in my clients' lives. This idea of being present over being perfect. And so I wanted to do an episode, especially when it comes to your relationship with food and how it's literally stealing time from the people that love you the most and that you love the most. I was actually talking to a client this past week, and she said something that just tore me into pieces because I related on it in so many levels. But she said, Lindsey, I realized I have been so consumed with thinking about my next meal or obsessing over what I can and can't eat that I totally missed out on my son's baseball season. Like, I was physically there, but mentally checked out. I was somewhere else entirely. And this hit me in the gut because I could have imagined my life going that way if I had not gotten help and support and checked myself and really gotten real with myself as I navigated the recovery journey. And if this is you, I see you. And today we're going to talk about how to shift from being perfect to being present, because your life, friend, it is real and beautiful, and it is messy. And right now it's happening, whether you're stuck in your head fighting with food and spending all the energy up there, or you're not. And so I want to talk about the energy thief that we just simply don't talk about. And that is the food obsession. So let me paint you a picture. There's this girl, I'm not going to give her a name. I'm just going to let you kind of think about her life, okay, as I talk through this. But we have this lady, this girl, who is on the top of on top of the world. She has it all together on paper, but here is what her typical day actually looks like. As soon as her feet hit the floor and she wakes up, she immediately starts calculating what she's going to eat that day. In the shower, she's planning her breakfast. Before the shower, she's doing crazy runs or some type of cardio. And during her morning meetings, she's thinking about lunch, what she can have, when she can have it. By evening, she's totally exhausted, not from her job and not from her family, but from the constant mental chatter going on in her mind. Her husband tries to talk to her about their weekend plans or something that's on his mind, but she has already spiraled into anxiety about restaurant menus or social settings because it's getting warmer out. And so people around town want to be doing some barbecues. If this sounds familiar and you feel like you know her, like she could be your friend, here's the truth bomb. Eating disorders, they aren't just about food. They are time suckers. They are time and energy thieves. They are vampires. And they steal your presence from your own life. I want you to think about it. How much mental real estate is food taking up in your brain right now today? Literally do this exercise. If you had to estimate what percentage of your everyday waking thoughts are consumed by food planning or food guilt or food anxiety or food rules, what would it be? What is your percentage? I would tell you back in the day where I was super struggling, it was like 80 to 90% of my day felt like it was a conversation within my own ears where I was constantly thinking about what I was going to eat next. I was constantly consumed about my workout or calculating any and everything. And that sacrifice was costing me everything. And this is what brings me to something that completely shifted my own personal perspective. And so I hope it does the same for you today, friend. I heard this quote that said, if you don't sacrifice for what you ultimately want, then you become the ultimate sacrifice. Sit with that for a minute, girl. What do you ultimately want? I'm guessing that it's not to think about food all day long. I'm guessing it's connection with your family. It's being present in your relationships. It's energy for the things that actually matter. Maybe peace in your own mind. But here's what's happening instead. You're becoming the sacrifice. Your time with your spouse is the sacrifice. Those conversations with your kids are the sacrifice. Your ability to be fully present in your own life is what's being sacrificed on the altar of food perfection. So I want to share another story for you. I had a client and she has gone through so much work. I mean, she has done so much work. She told me about her daughter's birthday party a couple months ago, and I was so proud of her. We were celebrating because she had a piece of cake and she spent the whole day being present. And in the old era of life, when she was so chained and stuck in her own mind, she would spend the entire party calculating whether she could afford a piece of cake or mentally planning how she'd make up for it the next day or feeling guilty to ultimately just not have any at all. And this really impacted the way that she showed up during birthday parties or any kind of event. And so it was such a wonderful win in this moment of realizing she had spent so much energy pursuing food perfection and pursuing this perfect body and being so terrified of gaining weight that it was stealing her presence from the moments that actually mattered. And so I want you to have that level of clarity. Like, how do you shift from constantly thinking about how can I be perfect, or I need to control this, or it's taking up so much time in your mind, to being present? Because I know ultimately in your heart you want to be present with the people that you love. But how do you reclaim that mental energy? So here's a couple strategies that I want to share with you today. Okay, the first one I call the 3-second check-in. So throughout your day, I want you to pause and ask yourself, where is my mind right now? And if you catch yourself in these food thoughts during a conversation with your family, during a work meeting, or during a moment that you honestly really want to be present, I just want you to notice it. I don't want you to judge the thought. I don't want you to think about it. I just want you to notice it. And then pause with this 3-second check-in and ask yourself, what would it look like to be fully here right now? To be fully here right now. Because friend, the reality is that life is going to go on whether or not you participate in it. And I even think about my life right now. I mean, my oldest son is about to graduate 5th grade, which means he's about to be in middle school. And I literally blinked. I mean, I cannot. My baby is 7. I cannot. He'll be in 2nd grade next year. And this will be the first year that they're not in the same school together and that I'm not walking them to school together. So instead of getting so worked up and, the perfection mindset, which is even easy for me to do with my business, I have to constantly tell myself, what would it look like to be fully present right here, right now? And while my thoughts are no longer around food and my body and controlling all of those things, I want you to think about how that is time sucking. And that is so much mental energy that you're spending in that place. Where could you use that energy? And so for me, it's like, wow, my son is about to be in middle school. I cannot even believe it. And I want to soak it up all right now. And so what does that look like to be fully here right now? I want you to try that on. Strategy number 2 for you. Keep track, maybe it's just for a day, of how much mental energy that you are spending on food thoughts consuming your mind. Every time you catch yourself planning or worrying or calculating or obsessing about food or obsessing about exercise, I want you to think about that and make sure that you're having that little check-in with yourself, that little audit. Count this up. This is your energy audit, Okay. Every single time you have that thought, maybe just take your phone out, like the notes app on your phone, and just mark a check or something, or put a check mark on a piece of paper. Okay. And then at the end of that day, count all of that up. That's your energy audit. How much of your life force is being redirected or being sucked away from what matters most? And if you're not used to, checking this on using your note app, or you don't want to write it down, just notate that in your mind. Okay, I thought about that. I thought about it again. I thought about it again. Now I'm thinking about calories and dinner again, or I'm thinking about what I can have next. Like, I want you to think, going back to the beginning of this episode when I said, how much percent of your day are you spending thinking about food? I want you to acknowledge that, because I think it's easy when you're on autopilot to think, yeah, you're right, Lindsey, like this totally is all I think about all day long. But I still don't think when you're in it, fully in the trenches of disordered eating, you realize how time consuming it is to your mind. And so I want you to be able to really get that level of understanding. How much time is spent thinking about these things? And then in terms of being present, okay, this is what I call the presence practice. So this is the third strategy I want to share with you today. I want you, the next time that you are sitting down to eat, or maybe it is a specific meal throughout the week, put your phone away. Don't think about the rules that are popping up in your mind. Prepare your food, whatever it is. Okay, we can work on that later. All right, I realize you probably have a rigid routine. You're probably eating very similar things every single day, but I just want you to eat what you typically do and be fully there for that experience. Notice the taste, notice the texture, notice the satisfaction. And this isn't about food. It's actually just about being present. Because 9 times out of 10, you're multitasking, right? Or maybe you're standing eating, or you're snacking, or you're running all around the kitchen, or you're trying to avoid that experience with yourself. Not only is it important for us to elevate being present with the people in our life, but it's also important to do that with yourself. And the last strategy that I wanted to talk about today was this connection redirect. Okay, so whenever you catch yourself spiraling into food thoughts, immediately reach out to someone that you love. I don't care if it is a text to your kid or your spouse or your friend. Just call them, say hey, hug your dog. The goal here, sis, is to redirect that mental energy toward connection instead of obsession and instead of control. So dinner in our family is a device-free zone. I want you to think about how this could be a free zone for your mind as well. Okay, so instead of thinking about whether you're eating too much or planning tomorrow's meals, I want you to be completely present. Soak up the time that you have. Ask your spouse or ask your kids about their day. Really listen to their answers. Share something about your day. And our family, this is what we do. We do what was the most challenging part of your day today? And what was the best part of your day today? Like, what were you proud of that you accomplished or that you did or you overcome in the day today? And that really drives conversation. Plus, my kids love like battling out that what their best part of the day was better than the other. It's kind of this odd competition they have. But I want you to try to think about truly being present in the moment. And especially when it comes to in the moment with yourself at meal times. One of my prior clients, she started doing this. And she said, I actually was present with my family for dinner, and it felt amazing. She realized that she'd been missing so much of that because every single time that she sat down to eat, maybe she was physically around people that she loved, but she was mentally in her own head, thinking about it, thinking about her food, thinking about her exercise, thinking about if she was allowed to have what she was eating, like all the things, thinking about how she could restrict things. And she wasn't mentally there, emotionally there. She was far removed. And here's what starts to happen, sis, when you choose to be present over being perfect. Your relationships are going to deepen because you're actually there for them, not just physically. Your work is going to improve because you're not distracted by food anxiety or thoughts. And your energy is going to increase because you're not exhausting yourself with mental food battles. But here's the most important thing. You start to remember who you are beyond this debacle in your head and this relationship with food that has become so disordered. You start to rediscover the person and the woman who has opinions about things other than calories and the scale, who has dreams that are bigger than numbers, and who actually has love to give to the world that is not contingent upon eating perfectly. So I need you to hear this today. Every single moment that you spend obsessing about food is a moment that you're taking away from fully living your life. Every mental spiral about what you can or can't eat is time literally stolen from the people who love you, just as you are right now. Your kids, they don't need a perfect mom. Your spouse doesn't need a perfect partner. And your friends don't need a perfect friend. They need you, present and engaged and fully there. The eating disorder wants you to believe that you'll be worth loving when you get the food thing figured out, when you get the body thing figured out. But this is just a lie. You're worth loving right now. Food struggles and food thoughts and all of it. And the people in your life are waiting for you to come back to them. Not when you're perfect, but right now. So here's your homework for this week. Choose one person in your life and commit to being fully present with them for 10 minutes. I don't care. It can be one day. No phone, no food thoughts, no mental planning, just you, fully there with them in the experience, in the moment. Maybe it's morning coffee with your spouse, or it's after school time with your kid. Maybe it's a phone call with your mom. I want you to practice showing up completely and practice letting those food thoughts pass by, just like clouds in the sky, while you stay anchored in the moment with the person that you love. So I wanted to come on and record this episode for you because I realized that this time of year we get so trapped in perfecting our bodies. You are not your thoughts about food, and you are not your body. And I know you've probably heard that 500 trillion times, but here is one time more. You are not your eating struggles. You are a woman with purpose, with love to give to this world, and with a life that is happening right now while you're waiting to be perfect in it. Stop sacrificing your presence for the pursuit of perfection that isn't coming. Your people right now need you right now. Your life right now needs you right now. And sis, you deserve to be fully present for your own beautiful and perfect, real and raw truth. If you're ready to dive deeper into this work with me, then I want to invite you to join our private community. You can find us at herbestselfsociety.com. We're creating a space there where women really are supporting each other and choosing to be present over being perfect every single day. And I also want you to head over to the website, herbestself.co, to join our email list so that you are the first in the know about any of our upcoming events, any services. I'm going to be having a super fun kind of sprint offer for you. So you'll want to make sure that you are subscribed to our email list. We've got some incredible things coming up, and I just cannot wait to share them with you. I want you to know that I love you. I'm proud of you, and I'm cheering you on as you choose presence this week. It's okay to not be okay, but it's choosing to be present even when you're not okay. Until next time, I want you to be here now because your life is waiting for you. And if you don't sacrifice what you ultimately want, you become the ultimate sacrifice. Apply some of these strategies that we've talked about today to your life, and I'll talk to you real soon. Bye for now. Oh, friend, thank you so much for letting me share what was on my heart today. My hope for this podcast is to help more women find freedom from food and body. If this has empowered or blessed you, let me know. I'd be honored for your rating and review of my show, and I'd love to connect with you in my private Facebook community. You really can move from perfection to purpose. Let's break the chains together. I'll help navigate the way. Until next time, bye for now, girl.